I'm not walking down to here, but yeah, start when you're ready.
Hello and welcome to Beanie Games X-Wing Star Championships 2017. I'm Joshua Chambers, one of T Squadron's own. I'll be leading you through our stream for games today. I'm just doing random tables to start off with. Later on I'll pick stuff I think's interesting, and then obviously from the winning in round and through the cut we'll just show what has a chance of winning today. So we have 40 players here today. Sadly there's a few drops last minute, can't be helped, but 40 is still pretty solid for a Star Championship. So that's going to be 5 rounds of Swiss, followed by a cut to the top 8 in accordance to the tournament regulations. So for round 1, we've randomly got Jason Sharp, who's flying Scum and Villainy, and he's up against Gary Ashbolt. So Jason's list is a Mindlink list. It features my favourite pilot of all time up until Sonny Bounder came out, and that's Palab Gadali. So he's got Palab Gadali with a tiny Mindlink, twin laser turret. He has Fenton Rao with a tiny Mindlink, Concord Dome Protector and auto thrusters. And he's flying a Sarge Ventress with Shock Horror, a tiny Mindlink and Latarazi. Obstacle wise, he's went for, it looks like, the 3 biggest asteroids, and he's using the Force Awakens damage deck because he obviously doesn't want to lose that TLT or those Mindlinks. Then we've got Gary Ashbolt, he's flying a Rebel Squadron. His list consists of Dash Rendar. It's a Lone Wolf builder dash rather than a VI or PTL. So he's got HLC and Outrider title, Ray, and that Lone Wolf, which has been popular recently on Dash and Lebo in a variety of lists. For example, Raster's list that won Euros. He is flying Dash with 2 wingmen rather than just Miranda or Poe, as seems to be popular. So he's got 2 Blue Squadron pilots, they're the bottom B wings, and they've each got a fire control system for those target locks. So that's a full 100-point list, no initiative bid there. Jason does have an initiative bid of 1 point. Just going through setup now there. I'll just have a quick chat about the field then. We've got 40 players, and from my piles of lists neatly sorted out in front of me, I can see that we've got a good mix of all 3 factions. I was worried that Imperial might be a bit underrepresented today, but it's clearly not the case. There's a lot of SF and Defender sort of builds. There's 1 or 2 classic Ace builds. I've seen a Duchess, Suntier and Vader knocking about somewhere. Yeah, there's a good, interesting, varied meta here today. We've got some triple U-wing lists I can see just looking out across the room. We've got not very many ghosts at all. I can only see 1 ghost, and it doesn't have the Phantom with it. Lots of Dash and lots of Ventress, so it seems to be key. Well, I'm noticing a few of the Dengar Tell lists as well. It's a fair few quad jumpers, some in swarms and some just floating along with Bosk and the like. Just waiting for these chaps to set up. If anyone has any questions, comments, compliments or complaints today, just get in touch with me via the YouTube comment section. We'll see if it's as colourful as it was last time with the Stockport Derby we had in the final. Yeah. I'm just going to type these lists into our YouTube comments bit there, so that anyone who joins in later can check that out. So you're going to hear some typing noises and me talking to myself as I remember what the English alphabet looks like.
Yes.
Just the opening moves going on along here. Gary is going to have to split up that squadron at some point if he wants the benefit of Lone Wolf, of course.
All of yours?
There's those lists up for anyone who joins us a little later. So let's just talk about Palom's ability here for anyone who's not familiar with it, because I imagine it will come into play at some point. So Palom Gadali at the end of the activation phase can basically steal a focus or evade token from an enemy ship at range 1 to 2, and obviously if it's a focus token that's taken, that does trigger mind link. So that's nice choke and action economy. Can't say the TLT is particularly good here, but against ace heavy builds that'll be really good. And to be honest, there isn't really a better turret for him. It'll be interesting to see if Sync turret sees much play on Hawks. That'd give him the points to be able to make it a regenning Hawk with the new upgrade from the Sea Rock expansion. I was looking over some Scum and Rebel lists actually, and there's quite a few Skicks and Hawks with those pulsed ray shields. I've seen an Analdra, a couple of Cerasus, mostly in mind link focus lists. And as I look out to my left, I can see Skick and Zed and Quad Swarm, which might go on the stream later on. We'll see how we get on. Both players just doing these opening moves quite cautiously. Obviously neither of these lists are particular alpha striking, neither of them are relying on any kind of ordnance. Oh, and I did forget to mention that Gary's obstacles are all debris. Pretty standard stuff for Dash, really. I think Jason's made the choice to go for asteroids over debris because it can be that little bit dangerous with Mind Link, getting everybody stressed out. I'll take this sort of bit of downtime just to give the venue a big thanks. Beanie Games is a fantastic spot for X-Wing. We've got 40 players today, but in the past, I think for our originals we had 128? Oh, we had 128 registered and then some didn't turn up, as always happens on the day. But we've got plenty of room for X-Wing. I play here every Friday. It's a great little venue. And also big thanks to the Grand Moff for letting me on his channel to chat about spaceships with you all. So this is going out on his Holocron page, where he just sort of like news and spoilers and box openings and other little treats for X-Wing, Destiny, Imperial Assault, and some non-Star Wars games as well. Yeah, and he's our TO for today. So, thoroughly ready to remind people of anything in the FAQ. He's got one armed on his person. He's got a learn to play guide as well, just in case anyone didn't think to do that before they turned up today. I think primarily the reason for caution in this game is if Fen finds himself getting shot at by Dash's heavy laser cannon at range 2, it's pretty much lights out for Fen. Range 3 will still have his auto thrusters, range 1 Dash can't fire, and Fen moves after Dash. So Gary's got to be careful with Dash's donut hole, and Jason has to be careful not to end up in Finn's danger zone. And I guess I'm stuck with those two terms now. So these Blue Squadron pilots are getting ready to engage through this nice little corridor of obstacles in the middle of the board there. Is that going to be a barrel roll or just a small manoeuvre next turn? It's going to be a barrel roll, yeah. Between that barrel roll and the 2K turn, B-Wings can be surprisingly manoeuvrable in my experience.
It's one of those things that's easy to
Dash starting to turn in there as well. Of course, Gary doesn't really want to see any combat yet because he's definitely too close to those B-Wings for Lone Wolf to be switched on. Or maybe Lone Wolf is a bluff. Maybe Lone Wolf's a bluff. Obviously, it's far too early to try and suggest that at the moment. I said doubt there'll be any combat this turn anyway. Fen 2 banking there. He's probably going to go for another 2 bank next turn as well, I imagine, or bug out to the right. Again, you need to be really careful not to end up in range 2 of Dash. And that's a barrel roll for Fen. Gary has Ray Crew on the Outrider there, which allows him to basically save back some focus tokens, and then he can then he's got left at the end step he can pop on Ray, and then at the beginning of combat he can move 1 focus onto Ray. So that's good action economy, and it lets him make investments for turns where he might not get an action due to a bump or something, or so that he can fire with a target lock and a focus, or so that he can barrel roll and focus. Lots of options with that there. The stream is Jason Sharp and Gary Ashbolt. So we just had a little message from Lee there. Yes, I have wrote it in the comments, so that's fine. So basically, with Dash and Fensdals, we're going to find out if the game proper is about to start, or if it's going to be another few turns of enticing, teasing, being a bit coy, flirting. All the time in the world. Gary just checking the clock there. There's just under an hour left in this round. So it looks like the B-wings are fen hunting. I think we're going to see Fen bugging out. I don't think he's going to engage just yet. For the benefit of the stream, Ventress's mobile firing arc is currently pointing to Ventress's left, so it's pointing directly at that debris, if that makes sense to everyone. It's pointing in towards the board. It's on the left flank, Ventress. I appreciate you can't see in the stream, and every time there is a shadow caster on the table, I will try to keep track of that for you. I can just about see it from this current angle.
Yeah. Alright, we're doing a combat phase.
Fen hasn't bugged out like I thought. It's still cautious. I think he's going to be totally safe from Dash there. Even if he is just in range 3, then he's going to have the obstacle and all the thrusters. That's definitely putting him out. That might also mean he has no shot in a B-wing. We'll see when it comes to combat. So it's Fen first to pass on then. He's not going to rain. So that's Gary not rain, confident that there's no combat for Dash this round. Fen appears to be just out. Yeah, and we are back to dials. I think Dash probably has Fen this round. Hello, Zoe. So for those of you who just joined us, because our viewership has just doubled, you're watching our stream of the first round of Beanie Games 2017 Store Championship here in Stockton-on-Tees. We've got Lee Grand Moff Dalton TOing today. I'm just Chambers. I'm doing the colourful commentary for you today. You're watching Gary Ashbolt's Rebel Squadron with Lone Wolf Dash Rendar and 2 Blue Squadron pilots take on Jason Sharp's, I'm going to call it Palatani, because I like to make words up on stream. I think we're probably going to see some serious combat this round. Although, interestingly, if Dash ends up on one of those 2 asteroids, which I don't think is likely to be fair, he isn't going to be able to shoot, but he can just barrel roll off them. But Dash also needs to distance himself from those B-wings to make sure that he gets his lone wolf switched on and makes these shots count. He's going to have Ray kick in no matter what, so he can always get that focus token, maybe even 2 focus tokens if that's what he wants. Palab's not going to be able to manoeuvre himself in any way that he's going to be able to take anything meaningful this turn. So the B-wing's going after Fen now. Okay, I was wrong about Palab Gadari, by the way. He's the start of combat. I'm just going to get Lee to find out who has initiative for me. Dalton, do me a favour. Do you know who has initiative? It's Ray and Ray and so I'm just finding out who has initiative at the moment. Okay, so Jason's quite cleverly given Gary initiative, so that Gary has to raid before Palab takes the token. But obviously Palab's not going to be anywhere near doing that this turn. Sorry about the temporary loss in audio there. I'll have a chat with the TO about some stuff. So, Fen could be in a sticky situation there. He looks like it's probably range free, so he's probably at least got auto thrusters from Dash. and he's probably range 2 from at least one of the B-wings though, which as we all know is Fenn's least favourite range. What action is Fen going to take here? Barrel roll further away maybe? Obviously he can't take an evade, he could go with double focus because obviously there's multiple ships firing at him. Does he have a shot on? I think if he has a shot on it's only going to be on dash. I don't think it's through the obstacle, although it's hard to tell from this sort of angle. So it's a very tense decision to make. We've gone for the barrel. We went for a boost. We've went for the boost. So we're raying there. So he's got a target lock on Fen and Ray for the focus. So he'll be able to fire dash at Fen. The lack of Lone Wolf only matters defensively here because he's got the target lock anyway. Was Lone Wolf a bluff then? Or is it just up for later on in the game maybe? So it looks like Fen at the B-wing. I'm going to assume it's range 1. Dice camera please guys. Okay, so it looks like it was 2 hits to no evade, so that'll be 2 shields off that B-wing. Dash appears to be range 2 against Fen. Spends the tag lock, so it looks like 2 hits so far. 3 hits. Here come Fen's greens. 1 evade. Was that an auto thrust as well? 2 damage. Could not auto thrust us because the shot was in the arc. So that's 2 early damage on Fen there. Sarge firing at that B-wing already being fired at by Fen. Interestingly, that B-wing has a focus at for when it shoots at Fen. Sarge there just scoring. Oh, we're converting the focus result to a hit there, so a hit and a crit. Against nothing, that's another 2 shields. So damage flying fast and furious this one. Helps just out. It's going to be the B-wings at Fen. Range 1, but Fen quite likes range 1, especially with that title as well. So here come the B-wings attack dice. Ooh! So converting that focus, so 3 hits and 1 crit. 4 dice for Fen plus Concord Dawn though. So there's the Concord Dawn die. And he spends the focus and he still takes the crit. Damage engine, so the sharps are now red for Fen, and he has 1 hull left, assuming I've been paying attention correctly. There's still a B-wing to fire, and it's shooting range 2 at Fen. I did just want to flip back at the other camera to check he was definitely going to fire at Fen. So we're back with dice cam. Only 3 attack dice this time, just 1 hit, that's probably saved Fen. Yeah, Fen laughs it. So that's everyone fired. Sorry about that, just got interrupted for a query. So they've both those blue squadron parts have acquired tag locks on Fen route for their fire control systems now. So Fen 1 hull left, tag locked by 2 ships. Not looking to be in a fantastic place there. With Fen gone, that's most of the teeth of the list gone. The B-wings with their fire control systems aren't going to care much about getting stressed by Ventress, because they'll still get the action economy through the fire control systems. Dash will still get his action economy through Ray, who's built up quite a few tokens. Obviously, Palab can take those away, and Jason has given Gary the initiative so that Ray happens before Palab. So it'll be interesting. Probably needs to kill Palab straight after Fen, because I think Ventress would struggle. So she won't be able to lock it down quite as much as she can with acier lists, let's say. So these B-Wings, I think, trying to block Fen here. Or more likely block Ventress. Obviously Fen isn't going to do a sharp, so...
Good moment. Good moment.
Barrel rolling with that B-Wing now. B-Wing's hunting Palab now, maybe? Is this B-Wing trying to block Fen? What action does this B-Wing want to take? Focus? Seems likely. So Palab can't make out the dial, but let's see from the template. I think Palab's still going to be too far away to steal focus from the B-Wing that actually has one. But we'll see where he focuses up for everyone there using Mind Link. We'll see where Dash ends up, I suppose. And Ventress has been blocked. That was a very savvy B-Wing block. Although, to be fair, I think Fen was blocking her anyway. Just popping down the train tracks. And playing everyone's favourite dexterity game. I'm actually looking at the real table rather than the camera now, and I can confirm that Ventress has bumped the B-Wing, yeah. Dash sharpening over that rock there. I assume Gary's going to use Dash's ability. Dash, I'm assuming tag block then. Dash does the dash thing. Okay, it's a short time for Fen Rao. Where's he gone? Again, can't make out the dial on this camera. Looks like a free bank. He knew the block was coming and he's trying to get out of range 2 of Dash. See if it's paid. Ooh, it's the other way to where I was expecting. Okay. It's probably not a fantastic place for Fen Rao to be. Although Dash is the only ship with a shot on. If he boosts, does that get him into range 1 of Dash? Can't quite tell. He's going for the boost. I think he might end up in Dash's gauntlet hole. It's certainly going to be close. The camera can be deceiving. I'm pretty confident that's going to be a range 1 of Dash. So it looks like Fen's really going to get to do some stuff then. And Dash appears to have himself stuck in Lone Wolf bad range. So is this going to be Fen at Dash? Obviously 5 dice because of Fenn's ability in range 1. So 3 hits and a crit. Blank and a foxtrot. Spends that foxtrot because he's not going to be shooting at Fenn anyway. That's going to be 3 shields off dash. Dash will then probably have to shoot Ventress, I imagine. It appears to be obscured, so Ventress will get 3 dice against the foe. 3 hits, 2 hits and a crit. The crit converts down to the hit from HLC. 2 that gets dodged. Ventress only takes 1 damage and 1 shield gone. So, you know, it's been a big turnaround turn for Jason here. I spoke too soon. There are still 2 B-Wings to fire. 1 can only fire at Palo. But it is Ventress next anyway, of course. I believe the damaged B-Wing is the one she's touching. So she can't be shooting at that one. So do you go for the fully healthy B-Wing or do you have a poppet dash? I think you probably got to have a poppet dash there. Yeah. I think that's the right choice from Jason there. Spend the focus token for 3 hits. 3 hits. Dash dodges 2. So that's 1 more shield off dash. So he's got 2 shields left now. Just checking the Palab shots there. He's going for the already damaged one, I believe. Oh, he's gone for the further one. He's going for the damaged one without the focus token, which seems correct. Is that? You spend the focus token for 1 hit? I suppose it's a B-Wing, it's only getting 1 die. He dodges it. Second TLT shot. 2, yep, 1 goes through from that one. B-Wings only have 1 dice. And B-Wing range 2 onto Palab. 2 hits. He spent that focus token, so only 1 dodge. Palab's lost his shield and he doesn't have a post-ray shield, so that is a shield gone. He's moving the target lock for fire control system. Obviously thinking that he's not going to get a shot on Fenn anytime soon, and I'd be inclined to agree. So it's the other B-Wing. I think this was at Ventress from the amount of dice being rolled. 3 hits there. Oh, it must have been range 3 at Palab then. And Palab's taken 1 face down damage card, so it was a Palab there. So, what do we think? Is Fenn going to be able to exploit this donut hole more? Or is Gary going to be able to pick a manoeuvre that'll distance dash enough that the repositioning actions won't be able to do it? So we're now about halfway through the round, and I can see we've got a couple of new viewers. So you're joining us at the 36 minutes remaining mark of round 1 of Beanie Games 2017 X-Wing Miniatures Games Store Championship. We have 40 players here today. We've got a good mix of all 3 factions. I'm Joshua Chambers, guesting on the Holocron, while the Grand Moff Lee Dalton is often about doing rulings, mostly telling people that they just do white 2 forwards when the reveal of red when stressed. Because I've just witnessed him do that about 3 times in a row. So I mean, obviously there's going to be some real thinking about the dials on Fenn and Dash here. Both got to be so careful. So yeah, it looks like certainly at least the damage B-wing's trying to block Palab there. I suppose if Palab's done a 1 forward, he'll have a shot on Palab. Either way, he probably doesn't want to do the focus talk because that's just going to act as extra action economy. Because Palab will definitely be within range of the B-wing this turn. I think that might be a mistake, but we'll see. Might have just given him Mind Link for no cost. But I suppose if this B-wing wants to focus as his action as well, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Is that a 4 forward? Because that's red, not a 3 forward there. Didn't think it would be a stressful and almost off the board manoeuvre. I think he's arc dodged successfully. We'll be able, well, the front one anyway. We'll be able to TLT the damage B-wing. They can take the focus token off the one that's sort of the only one that's firing at it and get focus for everyone else like that. But he's already focused on Mind Link. Just means it's going to have 2 focus tokens. Obviously beneficial with the TLT shots and the old the TLT shots and defending. Actually, so run a list really similar to Jason's, but instead of the 1 point initiative bid, I had 4-1 on Palab, which allowed me to use 4-1 in one or both of the TLT shots, because what's 2 iron tokens to a small ship, really? But to be fair, that was mostly to get around the action, the token economy certainly, of X7 defenders, which are a much less prevalent force in the meta. Although looking at in front of me today, I see quite a few of them, some being played as free ops with Marek as well as Vessery and Riot. Some of them, Vessery and Riot, I don't see any with Palp, but I do see 2 with Upsilon class shuttles. One right in front, well, one right to my left appears to be a Major Stride and Alpha Strike build of some kind. Don't know how well that's worked because he's still playing. Which you don't want to be doing 40 minutes into a round with an Alpha Strike list. Okay, so Fen is definitely in the donut hole. I can't quite tell if Fen is bumped or not though. We'll find out if Fen attacks or not. Palab steals the focus token from the ship that can shoot him. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, there goes the stress from Ventress, yeah. Ventress's mobile arc hasn't changed all game, it's always been firing. So this appears to be dash firing, so Fen can't have a shot. Dash getting 3 hits and 1 crit, so the crit was from a reroll. This is against Ventress, all that damage goes through. I believe that puts Ventress in the hole and actually take the crit. Major explosion, and that's a blank. So no extra damage from the major explosion, so that could have been many worse things.
Right, and then it'll be
So it looks like Ventress range 2 dash. Spending folks for 3 hits. Is that 2 dodges? So 1 more shield off dash? 1 shield left on dash? Have I been counting correctly? We could really do with some computer whiz kid knocking us up an overlay. None of us have the know-how. But if anyone's particularly nice, so we're on Palob, who needs to use the dice cam. Palob against B-Wing. The dice cam's gone a bit out, folks. There, it looked to be a few hits. It was 1 damage, and then another 1 damage. Yeah. Thankfully, when it's a TLT firing at a B-Wing, we don't really need to look at dice too much. This is B-Wing's back at Palob, I believe. 2 hits, target locking because he gets it back. Palob dodges none of it. Palob is 2 in the hole now. Only 1 B-Wing firing at it in this turn though. I believe that's combat sorted for everyone. Popping the folks back on rear. I mean, now I think Dash gotta go fast. Yeah, Palob does not have the mouldy crocodile. Big hello and good morning, and even how do you do to our friends at Cloud City Radio there. Thanks, Joy. It is a nice-ish dice cam, except sometimes it goes a tiny bit blurry. I'm glad the audio seems to be okay for you guys. Our microphone blew up a bit, so I'm currently just using the laptop mic with a general hubbub around me. We have 40 players here in Stockton and Tees today. It's a few less than we were expecting, but these things do happen on the day. We're going to have 5 rounds and a top 8 cut in accordance to the tournament guidelines for the basic tournament structure as it used for Star Championships. I don't know, the Grand Moff deals with all the admin. I just get on here and run my mouth off. There is, of course, a mute function for anyone who doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
The Battle of Palob and the B-Wings continuing there. I don't think that was bump, I just think it's the B-Wing model causing some problems as to what to do. No, but he's not taking action, so maybe it was... Oh, sorry. Of course, the tight ones are red on the B-Wing, aren't they? Dalton, you needed. And the commentary. So I'm just getting bothered for rulings. Don't want a ruling from me, promise you that. Palob does what he has to do. I believe it's always sharp on the ship, right? Folks, it's for everyone. What's Ventress's action here? Evade, okay, that's interesting. I would have thought he might have been tempted to move the mobile firing arc. Because I think Dash is just going to go forward quite a bit. Free banking. Unless there's a barrel roll, I think that means that Fenn's going to be in his donut hole again. 1 sharp does it by itself even without a booster barrel, I think. And there's the necessary barrel. I'm assuming. Oh, I was assuming Fen has done one shot, but of course that would be red. Okay. So that's stress for everyone. Thanks to that lovely crit we got there, the damaged engine one. Why isn't he? Just confused that he put stress on dash. Why has he put stress on dash? Okay, realised. He's that used to ventressing, I think. Just got carried away putting stress on dash that doesn't belong. So yeah, I think that crit has pretty much saved Dash from having his donut hole exposed again. So it's range 2, Fenrow onto Dash. Let's have a look-see. Spencer Folks talking, it's an aggressive play, 3 hits. 1 is dodged, Lone Wolf's definitely switched on now. But first time we get Lone Wolf reroll, does nothing. So that's going to be some damage cards for Dash.
Yeah, please. Come on, Stephen, show me where it is.
Or face down, of course, though. I'm just going to stay with Dice Cam because we all know Dash is firing at Fen. There's that Lone Wolf reroll. Ooh, and of course the crit stays as a crit because HLC modifies before the reroll. I can't really make up those dice, but even if there's not, as long as it's not all of them. So that's Fenrow dead, right? Fen is gone. Halab's not far behind him, but here comes Ventress onto Dash. Dash isn't looking particularly clever himself at the moment. I think, is that 2 crits in a Folks result? Focusing that for a hit and 2 crits? I don't know, our cam's a bit blurry. Lone Wolf doesn't bail him out with that, so is this going to be 2 crits? So I can't make out what that is, but I think it's structural damage and damaged cockpit. Now damaged cockpit certainly does matter with Dash. And structural damage, if that's what it was, is the agility reducing one. So that's not a nice thing to have on Lone Wolf Dash at all. We've got Torquil is donutted against both these, or has he just got TLT range on that B-Wing? Looks like he's just got TLT range on that slightly further stressed B-Wing. That's going to be 1 hit. This might not be. The green die matters this time. Hey, it's only 1 damage. So the B-Wing's holding in there pretty good. This is the range 1 B-Wing on Palop. Using that fire control systems there for 3 hits and a crit. That's got to be Palop done, right? Palop dodges both of them, so that's a hit and a crit. I can't see the crit. I think it was damaged cockpit. I could just about make something out. It's a bit of glare from the sleeves there, guys. I'm really sorry about that. We are going to have a look at the focus on that dice cam and see if we can do anything with it. It started off so nice. I imagine it must have been slightly knocked in all the hustle and bustle. So sorry about that, guys. I think it was a damaged cockpit. I might get a bit of an intel agent to go do a bit of a scouty spy. 2 seconds while I'll just enlist somebody to check that crit. It was damaged engine and power, but it died anyway. Yeah, obviously 2 per left, but I was just checking that I got those crits on Dash Rat. Those very glary damaged cards were indeed structural damage and damaged cockpit, so all correct on that front. But you know, Ventress has already taken some damage. It's going to be really rough here. The B-Wings are going to take some time to get back in the fight though. And of course, Mind Link doesn't look like such a good upgrade when you've only got 1 chip left. B-Wings showing how long it takes a stressed B-Wing to get back involved.
That's 18 minutes left on the round.
Making the most of things and try and get target on Ventress, I think. It's just out, so we're going for a barrel. Trying to reposition back in that fight as quickly as possible because we have 18.5 minutes left and every pip of MOV is important. And the B-Wing does get the tide lock on Ventress. So Ventress's arc, by the way, still facing in towards the board there. Ventress's left from the front of the ship. And there was no combat, so straight back into dials.
Oh yeah. So bad. Yeah.
So I believe Ventress needs to take another whole point before it's half points for her. But Gary currently only conceding half points for Dash, which is 26, which is less than Ben was. So he definitely needs to get a convincing kill on Dash. Even with a convincing kill on Dash, he's still lost, especially if he takes a hull. Dash playing it safe there. Dash moving first, of course, now and shooting last from that damaged cockpit crit. B-Wing's doing everything they can to just seal Ventress's fate. I doubt they'll be shooting from Ventress on B-Wing's. I feel like Ventress is probably going to free bang. Ventress went for the 5k to just 5 forward. I said just 5 forward. What's the action going to be? That's a focus token. And then all the other ships that are out there get focus token commanded. Ventress fire first, range 3. And Lone Wolf definitely switched on for this. Ventress spends the target block, spends the focus, 3 hits on dash. Dash spends the focus and evades everything. Or -1 agility cost, so just take the 1 dice in. It's going to take the 1 hit. Because Dash rolled too many dice there because of the structural damage crit. It's a good job all the dice roll the same result, otherwise that could have been sticky to resolve. And Dash is dead. A full Ventress is still worth less than these 2 B-Wings though, and Ventress is very nearly not a full Ventress. Ventress needing to kill 1 B-Wing while not taking any damage, or 2 B-Wings. With 13 minutes left on the clock, how likely does this look? There's 12.5 minutes left. So after this game, the next round is going to come in pretty quickly, so stay tuned with us after the conclusion of this one.
Oh, I just couldn't touch it. It's untouchables. It was unbelievable. The amount of shots.
Gary just contemplating what the B-Wings should do this turn.
Tom lost.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Just trying to position in a way that you might have a shot on Ventress. At least Ventress won't be able to reposition out of any arcs. Obviously got that evade action ready and willing to go. Any shots will almost definitely be at range 3, quite probably be through an obstacle as well. Just using the 2 template there to check that barrel roll is possible, because it's the same size as the 1 template and a ship base. When we're talking about small ships, that is anyway. I believe Ventress's mobile arc is still facing to Ventress's left, so potentially a shot on that B-Wing. It all depends on the range.
Josh, are you ready for your shots?
I don't need to get any shots.
Sorry for the interruption there. I've just been informed that Neat Tail has won a game. So, if we've got any of the Hull's Angels tuning in, what a lad, eh?
And it was literally, there was a B-wing man.
So it looks like at some point Ventress did change her arc to be the front, I think. It is hard to tell.
Yeah, so I might have killed all of it.
So there's definitely going to be some shots this round. Rightfully so, we're looking at 8.5 minutes left. Ventress's pilot, I believe. Oh, action first, sorry. That is a focus, it is just underneath the turbine, so my stress the B-wing with the target box seems like the sensible thing. That's basically just been used as an evade token here. Ventress firing at the damaged B-wing though, for one hit on crit, I think. That's one dodged. Be a face-upper. What was it though? Okay, they haven't
8 minutes left on the round.
Haven't shown me the crit there using the camera. So I have no idea what that crit was there. Back to the B-wings firing at Ventress. 2 hits. Spends that focus token, so 1 goes through. And then the stressed B-wing. Runs 2 through a rock. Yeah. Spends that focus for 2 hits and a crit. 3 dice, gets nothing. I imagine he's spending the stress token. So that it's just going to be... I can't read that crit. Are they going to put on the dice camera for me? No, we're ignoring the dice cam. Cool stuff. So there's 2 crits in play. I have no idea what they are. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how much it matters at this point. It's pretty much game, set, match to Gary. 7 minutes left on the round. He's getting half points for Ventress. Ventress at this point needs to kill both of those blue squadron pilots, and I believe one of them is next, well, as good as untouched. 2 shields left on 1? I think there's 2 shields left on 1. So, gross exaggeration there, but he's certainly not going to kill 2 in 8 minutes.
Maybe it wasn't better. Drop area.
Would you terrain it to the full thing?
64, but I was a bit. That's why 64 is so good. 1 machine you wanted to 2 area.
Right.
Having an area just to put
So 8 before 4. So that side's 4.
Yeah.
And then you stop down the other side and put something. 8 before.
That's fine. It means two people to the floor next to them.
Gary just taking his time with these B-wing dials. So this B-wing stress no matter what it does. But for one sharp, is that, or is that 1 bag? That's a 1 bag. Oh, okay. Well, shows what I know. Not stressed. Oh, it did go over the debris. I'll switch over the dice cam quickly. It was a crit, so we've lost a shield from the B-wing there. And that's basically an evade total for Ventress. Got a feeling Ventress might be a bit blocked anyway. This B-wing shooter is. Omega leader. Omega leader.
But yeah, if you wasn't a little kid, yeah, but having built.
Also, that B-wing wasn't bumped and he's got himself a focus token. I mean, I think we'll go with the same Ventress's action being turning the turret to face the back. Turns the turret to face the back. Seems correct to me. So, there's one big B-wing firing at it, but I imagine it's going to be double stressed. So, yeah, there's that. Obviously, you can only spend one stress token at a time for Latrazi. As nifty as that little player was, I don't think it saved Jason.
If you go backwards, even Tom said himself, he went, I'm getting already miles.
I can't see those dice very well. It's definitely got paint. Too much glare in the dice cam. Sorry guys, it's been knocked off focus. But we're doing a shot back and it doesn't look like they dealt any damage cards. So maybe I was wrong, or maybe it was focus fronts. Ventress dodges one naturally and spends one stress to evade another, which means Ventress takes the crit, right? Can't read it because they've got a stun pilot. Stun pilot is certainly interesting there if it was stun pilot. It certainly looked like stun pilot. Joy, I have asked them to do that, they just keep forgetting. I would remind them, but I don't want to interrupt their game. Yeah, I had to give them a bit of a brief on a ideal use of the dice cam for you streamers, but I've been told not to interrupt the top table of the stream, and if you guys catch anything misplay or illegal, the TO does not want us to bother the final. Not bother the final, sorry, bother the stream, especially when it comes to the later rounds. I will feed any mistakes caught back to Lee though. I can't promise that he will act on them. We are supposed to be fully independent of the event. He will not be reviewing footage during games, certainly. Okay, at this point there's seconds over a minute left on the round. This is definitely to Gary here. Ventress has no way of killing both these B-wings in the one turn they've realistically got left. Of course, if he takes one down with one shot and then we get an extra turn out of it, it'll be interesting to watch the time call. We've got 45 seconds left. So, firing at that B-wing. I'm going to guess that was nothing because there's no damage being dealt from what I can see. Range 3, I think it's obscured. We'll certainly see from Mam and Dice roll. They're just double checking the range there. There's no way they're going to turn out this. 10 seconds remaining, this will be the last turn. Hitting a crit. Ventress dodges nothing. So that's going to be a hit and a crit. That is Ventress down.
That's time on the round, people.
So that is game 2. Gary Ashford. 100 to 52. As that is time on the round, as soon as these games here are finished, I'll be back giving you the next round. I've already selected, I won't be using a random method for next game, I've already selected, as Paneet Taylor has won a very rare game for him. I'm going to give him a bit of a treat. He enjoys being on camera, he's a bit of an attention seeker, so we're going to let his Bromageddon list, his double IGs, have a little play on camera, and I'm sure we'll end up with many more viewers, because every time Paneet ends up in the stream, he makes his mum, his cat, everyone who works at the hospital with him watch. He shares it on Facebook every morning for the next couple of months. Interestingly, if you go back and watch our regional footage, his game has a couple hundred more hits than the final does. I don't know how much of that is Paneet just rewatching it as part of his sort of like breakfast, get ready for work, day routine. Players just reporting the score there, so just to clarify again, I'll be back very shortly. That was game at Gary's Rebels. Thank you very much. 100 to 52. So back in a bit for round 2 here at the Beanie Games 2017 Star Championship.